In late April 2026, the investigation began here, in the Adogodi neighborhood of Bengaluru. Pooja Dutta was 34 years old, a woman from Dhanbad who lived a solitary life in a rented flat. On April 23rd, she was seen out in public for the last time, completing a routine grocery run. For the next 4 days, that routine was replaced by a complete, unexplained silence from inside her apartment. By the 27th of April, neighbors reported a deeply foul smell, and the police were forced to breach the door. Inside, they found Pooja's body in an advanced state of decomposition. The apartment's main door was securely locked from the inside. There were no other points of entry, no broken windows, and no secondary exits. A door bolted from the interior typically indicates a room that has been perfectly sealed from the outside world. Yet the police were standing in a chaotic room that suggested someone else had been there. The total absence of forced entry is the most significant indicator that no intruder ever entered the flat. This lack of access aligns with reports that Pooja may have been experiencing significant mental stress. When a scene is physically inaccessible and the victim has a history of distress, the investigation typically focuses on self-harm. Based strictly on the architecture of the door and her personal history, the case would likely have been closed as a suicide. However, the internal scene contradicts the physics of the locked door. Pooja's body was found lying in a pool of blood. There was no suicide note. Instead, papers were torn and scattered across the room, indicating a struggle. Witnesses also reported that Pooja had a frequent male visitor. That visitor had recently been seen in a heated argument with her. The evidence of a violent struggle and an aggressive visitor stands in direct opposition to the fact that the door was bolted from the inside. Because of these contradictions, the police have officially registered this as an unnatural death, waiting for further evidence to commit to a theory. To resolve the conflict, the investigation is waiting on the post-mortem report. The autopsy will determine if the fatal injuries were self-inflicted or the result of a defensive struggle against an attacker. Until those biological facts are established, the physical scene remains a stalemate between two conflicting versions of reality. With the physical evidence currently deadlocked, investigators have turned their attention towards digital forensics. They are analyzing call data records to map her network and identify exactly who she spoke to on her final day, April 23rd. Simultaneously, police are scanning neighborhood CCTV footage to find a visual match for the man seen arguing with her. If a killer managed to leave a sealed room, they could only have escaped through these digital tracks. This is the story of a 34-year-old woman whose life ended abruptly and violently. Today, the case sits at a total standstill, caught between the logic of a sealed room and the evidence of a brutal attack. Until the forensic results come in, the Adogodi flat remains a locked box, holding the secret of what happened behind that bolted door.